It's Beaver Cool Aid.
Beaver Cool Aid.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett.
Beaver Cool Aid.
Three dudes talking about whatever the hell they want. It's narcissistic.
Check it out.
Remember, there's nothing wrong with being self-absorbed. It's Beaver Cool Aid with Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Night in old San Antonio.
Looks like you had a little too much fun last night.
Yeah, what's going on with that? What's going on with that?
Well, I kind of ran my mouth a little bit last night.
They hit you over the head with a bottle or what?
And then he took my picture a few times, and he goes, "Yeah, man, you got a face for radio." So I went after the guy. I got a little violent.
Well, now you've got a face for TV, and look at it. I mean, you're all bandaged up.
Yeah, you know. So I'm hurting a little bit here. You know, I'm just trying to. I don't want to look like the abused spouse. So I'm just kind of, this is a little camo here. All right.
Good.
So I'm hurting a little bit. I'm all patched up here. You know.
So is this year's Fiesta any different than previous times you've gone there? About the same, stacking
Fiesta
the cups?
is for the most part, is always the same. You could do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
But it's not about the actual stuff or the foodstuffs or the the beer or whatever, at least not for me. It's just about, getting out and seeing people you haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing is that since we're so divided these days, socioeconomically, so that everybody can live in their gated communities and go to their gated schools and go to their gated grocery stores or hang out in their skyboxes or be in their VIP areas and anything like that. You don't mingle with the masses anymore. I mean, you don't have the, people getting together with all the different socioeconomic groups. But you do during Fiesta because there is no skybox, there is no VIP, there is no gated this or that or whatever.
Right.
So all the events you go to, it's the community rolling out for the event. So it's great to just mingle with the people of your city. So it's a very cool thing. It's not Mardi Gras. It's not religious based. It was actually, Fiesta started as a celebration for the Battle of San Jacinto. And so it's kind of weird that, you celebrate in a way. It's called Fiesta. So you've already got, Spanish thing going on there. And then you're celebrating the overthrow of Mexico by celebrating Mexico. It's kind of a crazy thing.
Yeah.
But it started out as an Anglo celebration, and there you have it. It's very old. It's kind of cool if you go into it looking for delectable eats and great value, you're gonna hate Fiesta.
Yeah.
But Fiesta to me is just about hanging out and seeing people you haven't seen in a long time. And, of course, like last night, running my mouth off. Because I had a few pops too many, and then I start, talking a little much. And I'm not as fast as I used to be.
Yeah.
So
You got any stitches under there or just covering up some concussions and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of contusions.
Contusions, yeah.
Yeah, contusions. And I'm not talking about a WNBA player. I mean, I'm saying contusion. That's whoever that may be. But yeah, so I need the compression bandages today because it makes me feel a little bit better. That's all. Yeah, you get a little rowdy, you pay the price. And that's good. That's good.
I'm glad everything worked out and you made it to the Beaver Cool Aid today. I mean, God, how about taking one for the team right there, Drew,
It's Beaver Cool Aid.
Beaver Cool Aid.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I ran into former Spur Kobe Dietrich last night. I've had Kobe on the radio show many times throughout the years. He used to be he retired from playing ball in the early 80s, but he was the TV analyst for quite a long time. And I told him about the Kool-Aid, and he said, yeah, he's got Skype, he thinks. And so he's going to Skype in here, and we'll put him on, and we'll talk NBA playoffs since the playoffs are going to start this weekend.
We're getting guests, Drew. We're moving up, man. People are drinking the Kool-Aid all over town.
Well, what I like is I'd like it so that whenever we're doing a show, and you guys could have to tell me about this because I'm not a technical guy. It would be great for the other people that are unemployed or maybe they're third shifters that we could get people to buzz in during the time that we're doing the show. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can throw it out there.
At random kind of people to comment on stuff.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, people can dial in on Skype. We'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, it's what the show's all about. I've even had a few people on Facebook asking where we're going to start taking calls, and I think this is the easiest way to do it. Because one thing about it is, if they've got a camera, hey, those callers can't hide behind the phone anymore either. It's all out there.
Right? Well, you can block your video.
Yeah, but we want you to show your face. I mean, look, if Lyle's showing his face today, you got to show your face.
Well, as much as I can, man. As much as I can.
You know what I think is a good idea is if we maybe did some live porn in Lloyd's office.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
He could invite that guy that took a shit in his bathroom over.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I mean, the last time I was over there doing that, I mean, I couldn't find my keys in the basket. And I wondered what the hell was going on there. I mean, I'm not a professional like Lloyd and his wife when it comes to, throwing these little swinger parties and stuff like that. But
yeah, I was thinking we could call it the bukkake moment.
Yeah. The only swinging that's going on in my house is when the kids are playing in the backyard. That's about it.
Oh, come on, Lloyd. Let's look at you, man.
Yeah.
If that ain't a swinger look, I don't know what is.
No, man.
Listen to that guy. He's done all sorts of debaucherous stuff in his life, and every time you try to nail him on it, he goes, "Nope, the only swinging going on is with my daughters in my backyard."
Right, yeah. And every time you say that, a black bar crosses your eyes.
Yeah.
Like I'm believing that.
Yeah.
I've been in limos with you, Lloyd.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was at a bachelor party, so that's all fair game. That's all fair game, man.
Yeah, I like you playing Mr. Squeaky Clean.
That's
hey,
me, man.
This is the Beaver Cool Aid show. You're supposed to be real. This is my point. I'm trying to get this out there. Is that we with all the contrived bullshit on all these radio stations, and like here in town, the people that took over from us when they canned us because we were making too much money. It's all contrived bullshit, and it doesn't seem right. I mean, all my stuff for so long has always been predicated on being real, nothing contrived. So yeah, some things fall flat, some things are good, some things aren't good, whatever. But it's real, and everything these days is so manufactured. We've talked before about music. It's not real anymore. It's all faked and over recorded, and we've already talked about that on previous shows. But what I want on our show is for us to be real. Now, when I say that, I don't want anybody to think that I'm faking my head injury by wearing this ace bandage, but I want us to be real. So being real, Lloyd, is like saying yes, admitting that you and your wife frequently throw swingers parties.
Yeah, man.
So I want people to do that. I mean, so in other words, no contrivance, whatever.
Yeah.
It's real. It's you, warts and all.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need.
I wish I had some stories to share. I really do. I can make some up, but then again, I'd go right back to what you were talking about. I'm telling you, man, I'm an at-home dad now. My life is boring. This is it. This is what you see right here is what you get.
Here's what we're going to get from Lloyd for the rest of the year. Hey, listen, you guys, last week at Sunday school was crazy.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I want. I envision, Beaver Cool Aid is sweetened with pure cane sugar. I mean, we need to be, that's what I want to be. I mean, everything is real, and it's what we really think, whether or not it's PC or not, or whatever it is. That's what I want here, because that's what you don't get anywhere.
Well, I was on a band's tour bus this past weekend at Oyster Bake, and it smelled like 7-day-old sex. But other than that, I mean, that's all I got, man. I mean, there was shit in the sink. I mean, I've never seen, and it wasn't a bus either. This was an RV.
Like shit in the sink? There was
not
shit in the sink?
but I mean, it was shot cups and empty beer cans, and just it was just bad.
Yeah, you've arrived as a van when you have the tour RV.
Yeah.
On the tour bus. No, the tour RV.
The tour RV. And let me tell you, some girl came from the back with one of the band members, and I guess they'd been doing something back there. I didn't inquire, but nevertheless, she looked like she had been eating too much of the Fiesta food, if you know what I'm saying.
Well,
she just had steak on a stick. You know what I'm saying? Twice. Hey, just to get back to this morning show thing, and then we can move on from it. I just wanted to comment on what John said. You know what I can't stand? I don't listen to morning shows that much anymore. But you know what I can't deal with is the laugh tracks that people are putting behind their lame jokes on these shows. And I'm not talking about just small market or medium market stuff. These are major market shows, man, that are putting laugh tracks behind their stupid jokes.
Yeah.
God, I didn't know that. I've never heard it.
Oh, listen, you know what? I don't want to name any names here, but when we're off the air, I'll tell you exactly who they are. It is amazing because you really feel like you're listening to a, like a sitcom when you're driving down the road.
What city are we talking here? Can you say the city?
Is it the breakfast flakes? Is it the morning nut hut? Is it?
Yeah, the one in Dallas might as well be called that. Of course, we're called Beaver Cool Aid.
Yeah, right.
But the one in Dallas is similar to that, and then there's one close to us, Lloyd, that uses laugh tracks
in Austin.
That's what I don't want this show to be.
No,
I want this show to be an actual, adult show. Even if you do want to talk about the guys taking craps in your powder room or whatever, but I still want it. You can be an adult show and still, appeal to people that are, 18 to whatever, 55, 60. I mean, adult. I mean, with some intelligence somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like if your jokes are stupid, then stand by them. Don't prop them up with some laugh track. That is the lamest fucking thing I've ever heard as far as a morning show goes. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Who needs a laugh track when you got me, man? I laugh at all your shit. You guys crack me up, man. So.
Oh.
You do. You guys crack me up. That's why I enjoy doing a show with you. You guys make me laugh.
You're supposed to be real, Lloyd. You're supposed to be real.
Blow and smoke up Drew and Lyle's ass today. That's what I'm doing, man.
Right.
If nobody else will, at least you got your old buddy Lloyd over here to blow smoke up your ass to make you feel better.
It's Beaver Cool Aid.
Beaver Cool Aid.
I know we have different things going on. I'm still fired up from last night because I just got into a certain mental state that that's no laugh tracks, none of this, all this stuff is just, to me, it's demeaning.
Well, I have to say, man, you're really fired up today. I mean, usually you've been kind of laid back on all the previous shows, but today you're kind of feisty, man. You're fired up. You're a little anxious today. Look at you, even sitting on the edge of your seat up there. You're leaning into it, man.
Because I've been hanging out with you guys, and I, if you wherever you want to drive, that's fine. But I just start getting pissed off about all this stuff. I will not be marginalized.
Well, you never have been in your whole career.
Because it's just like that. I mean, it's kind of like you sit there and you feel marginalized by people, by no talent suits that don't have any idea what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all dollars and cents to them. So, and then public perception is always that somehow you did something wrong.
Well, you never had a chance to say goodbye on your final show, which, I mean, who cares really about a final show? I mean, it's just something that people get worried about for no reason. But, I mean, literally, you went off the air and you went off the air. I mean, this is the first time you've even come out for anything, print, or anything, talking about where the hell did John Lisle go after 20-some-odd years at KISS, Yeah,
right. Yeah, you worked 28 years at a place, aside from a year in Seattle and a year in Houston. And that's a big deal in this business. But to those who decided it was the end, when you shoot the bird, you don't do this. You give them the whole finger. That's very important. So I am a little
whole thing.
The whole, always the whole. You don't do this. This is nonsense. There.
What is this? What is that?
This is it right here. Ask any of your limey buddies; they'll tell you, man. This is what you do. It's the whole finger. But there will be times that I get fired up on this thing,
And it's okay. I think you should.
Huh?
Hey, I'm pissed off myself. I'm sitting here unemployed as well, wondering how the hell I'm going to pay my bills now, But that's just that's just radio, man. If you haven't ever been fired, man, you've never been in radio. I mean, how many times have we all been fired in this trio here? Plenty. So, hey, man. As Kelly Clarkson sings, Drew, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Did you hear that on the Bobby Bones show?
Oh, there's the laugh track. There laugh track.
Just
right there.
Just record it and drop it in anytime you need it, man.
Yeah, great laugh track.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
That was very nice. I mean, you guys disagree with any of this stuff, or I mean, I'm not.
No, I mean the main reason I wanted to do this is obviously I've never done a talk show. I've had more music has been my forte in the past, so this is educational for me to work with you, John. Now, Drew, you've done a morning show, and this isn't really a quote morning show. It's just a talk show, just talking about things that whatever the fuck we want to, which is the opening of the show says. Whatever's on our mind that day. It may be 30 minutes, it may be 90 minutes, but I think it's real. I don't think anything we put out there so far has been contrived or, like I said, just observations of what we've seen here in around our world, man. That could be from being a dad to going to Fiesta and getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Drew.
I don't want to be a part of the landscape that is morning radio anymore. I would rather sit here with you guys and talk about what we want to talk about without fear of being hotlined or without the fear of a sponsor dropping us. I'd rather sit here and, like John says, be real about it than to be a part of some morning show that either isn't very good content-wise or uses other pre-recorded elements to make it sound like the content of their show is worth listening to. And I think that that's a pretty big segment of morning radio now.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. Yeah, and the thing is there's hardly any self-generated content anymore. And the pressure of kind of having to kowtow to the wishes of the gurus or the people that think they know what they're doing just drives me insane. Because it's always coming from people who have never had a successful show. And they're always the ones trying to tell you how to have one. It's like, well, they've never had one.
That's absolutely right. I gotta relate a real quick story about that. We had a consultant who will remain nameless at the last place that I did mornings, and they would always make us, do the death march into the office to sit and listen to this troll drone on for an hour and a half about what he thought about my show. And so he listens to it, and then he stops the show. He listens, and he stops and makes a comment. And the first time we get in there, I knew exactly how it was going to be for the rest of my time with this douchebag, who's a consultant who has no business telling me what to do with my morning show. And here's what he says to me: he listens to the first little segment, and he shuts the recorder off, and he goes, "Hey, great music bed."
That's constructive.
And you know what he got? He got one of these.
Yeah.
The whole one.
The whole finger.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so it's it's so counterproductive, but once again, it's because people who aren't creative have to bring in these douchebags that can somehow they can get along with them to deal with the creative people, because they don't know what being creative is all about. They don't know how to set up the environment for creativity. They don't know how to encourage it. And so they get these people in that actually kill creativity. And so and people don't understand what you have to go through and flee. I mean, for like a year and a half at KISS, I had to do all these different things that were being told to me in just hopes of keeping a job, because I got a family to feed. I got people I got to provide for. When I know it's wrong, it's what I don't want to do. I want to rip off somebody's head and shit down their neck. But I can't do that because I got to keep my gig. Now, when I was younger, I had no responsibilities. I would quit on people.
Yeah.
The last time I quit on a job, I quit on a job in Seattle I didn't like. My wife was pregnant. I had 2 years left on my contract. And I told them, this is not right for me. I'm out. I'm gone. This job sucks. I don't like what you're putting me through.
That's some balls.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do that now. But I did then. I was around 30. And and I got a pregnant wife and no gig, no job. And then that brought me back to San Antonio. Because somebody called here and I heard the ice cubes tinkling in the glass. They said, would you consider coming back to San Antonio?
Well, let me ask you this, John. Now, say if there's another company in San Antonio, or even Austin, as far as that goes, Drew, that says, "Hey, we've seen Beaver Cool Aid. We want you to come on the air." Would you consider it, or is it just got too contrived now, and then you just rather have a forum where you can do whatever you want and say whatever you want right here?
Well, I would hope, and I got to that point certainly on Kiss through a number of years of being able to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, because I'm very organic, like we've talked about before. So if I could do it that way, yeah, but people have to be able to stand back, give you enough time to be able to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not dick with you. And that's what happened at Kiss. Kiss is only because of change in ratings methodology. Otherwise, they would have never dicked with it. And so if ratings start to drop, then they dick with it instead of saying, well, maybe, there was a methodology change. Maybe that's the problem and not the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. My engineer at the last station came and took my 7-second delay out. And then management was all panties in a wad when they kept hearing the word fuck on the air.
What do they expect if they took your delay?
Yeah, exactly. You're taking, we got to be real. Look, everybody knows that if you're going to get on and talk to anybody and entertain anybody on any kind of radio show or whatever kind of broadcast, that's just like John says, you can't be two-dimensional. You got to be real. You have to, people crave it. They want it. And their bullshit meter is way high.
It's very high.
And so you can't just get on and edit yourself all the time, because then it isn't going to be real. It's going to be two-dimensional. And so when they took that out, I woke up one morning and said, you know what, fuck that. I'm not gonna edit myself because they took out my delay.
Yeah.
And so we dropped a couple of F-bombs.
Well, the good thing about this is we're not regulated by FCC. We don't give a shit about ratings. And if you do hear a cuss word, a gratuitous fuck or shit or whatever it may be, it's
they're gonna love you at Sunday school class.
Yeah, they are. But I'm saying it comes because that's typically the way we talk when we're hanging out with each other having a beer. I mean, this, like you said, John, going back to being real. I mean, I think this is kind of how, if you and I and Drew were sitting at a bar right now having a beer, this is kind of the way we talk. So, I mean, I think the show is real. It's, obviously there's always tweaking to be done, and I'm sure that consultant watching right now is going to shoot you an email saying how he can make it better, or she can.
Great music bed, Drew. Great music bed.
Put in more graphics.
I wish we could use music. I hate the fact that a lot of people don't understand why we don't have music on this show.
Oh,
they would think, well, where's the music? What's going on? But if you're very wealthy and you want music on the show, you get in touch with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we got prime example on our 420 show when I tried to show that Snoop Dogg movie trailer that you didn't get to see. Is because YouTube kicked us off, said it was a content violation. So I had to go back, edit all this shit again, and re-upload it. And it's very time-consuming just for that one thing. So I don't know if there's a way to get around it. If it is, I wish someone would tell me. Because I would love to have more videos and more.
Yeah, we wish we could have, so we'll see. Like I said, once again, we're going to have to generate our own content. So that means, once again, Lloyd, you're going to have this camera on during one of your little swinger parties.
Yeah, I know it, man. Tape that guy taking a shit in the bathroom.
In the time it took him to edit that video that they took down, that guy took 2 dumps in his bathroom.
Yeah.
It's Beaver Cool Aid.
Beaver Cool Aid.
Unbelievable. But I ask, if you're watching this thing, if you've got this deep into it and you're watching this thing, put comments up at Facebook or something. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, where you want us to go. If there's a topic you want us to handle, let us know. I mean, I would like this thing to be, pretty much about, Austin, San Antonio. There's no show that really fuses the two. And Austin, Santa, what are you laughing about?
This fucking bandage that you have on your face.
I know. I feel like I'm watching an episode of the fucking Invisible Man or some shit.
Exactly. I'm having a hard time. Anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Austin, San Antonio, and then our lives. Drew is new dad. Lloyd's got a couple of girls. Boy, there's pressure right there, man.
Hell yeah.
I've got the grandson. I've got adult kids. I have little kids. I got kids that are, my little ones are 3 and 6. So I'm doing this all over again. So we're living life. We're Drew's got a job. Lloyd and I are unemployed. I mean, we're regular people, and we just want to reach out. We want to do a show. We want to get real. We've all got a lot of radio experience combined. We probably have close to 100 years radio experience.
Yeah.
And we want to do something that's an alternative.
And one good thing about this show is, you know, where everything is a sample before, you don't really know exactly how many people are listening to you. We know exactly how many people watch this show, how many people download it down to the number. I mean, we can tell that. So, I mean, you know, if you see X amount of views, that's how many people have seen it. We know that. So,
and so far, we have slept with all those people.
Absolutely. I'm sure we have.
Well, that's what I want to do. I'm going to be happy when the views, the total number of views exceeds the amount of sexual partners I've had. And that's when I'm going to be excited.
That's when you know you've made it, brother.
You got it, you know, because it can be depressing. You say, oh, wow, 3 people checked out that show.
Yeah.
That's great.
Especially when you think about how much time you put into putting it together, you know. It's like, all right, I worked on that thing for 3 hours for 3 views. That's 1 viewer per hour of work, so. But, you know, I think it's like you said, John, if you are the king of grassroots and growing a show organically, as you mentioned earlier, I mean, if you ever had the opportunity to do it, this is it right here, man. And again, I know in the past you weren't that big on social networks, but we don't have a 100,000-watt tower blasting our voice out right now. I mean, we got to get aggressive, and we got to get these listeners one at a time, these viewers, and you know, this is the way to build it. So, you know, I guess it's time to put your money where your mouth is, my friend, before I come over there and beat your ass some more.
Don't do that. I only have 1 ace bandage.
So, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I find it, you know, sometimes you can get kind of fat and lazy when you've got a big radio station behind you that's been successful. Well, here you are, you're thrown back out there and said, all right, let's start from scratch. You know, this is a whole new way to reach listeners and viewers. And I think this is definitely the way that radio's going. And there's too many people that's sitting on their ass right now that's been laid off going like, well, I'm hoping that program director is going to call me and offer me the night shift. You know, I'd love to get back into radio. It's like, you know, fuck that. I don't think that anybody who's had a little bit of success in radio has to bow down and kiss that corporate ass ever again, you know?
Well, I just wanted, because I realized last night talking to people at Night in Old San Antonio that, you know, in some way, instead of it just being, okay, view this thing and you're like a voyeur, I think that, you know, I want to be able to be more interactive with people.
Right.
And if they're looking for an alternative and they say, gee, you know, we miss listening to you or hearing your opinions on things, then if we're saying, you know, come to this place, then I think we have to be that way.
Yeah. Well, that's something that Drew and I can work on as far as figuring out a way to get listeners to interact with us while we're doing this live, you know. So,
you know, instead of it being more tame entertainment, because that's always my fear, because a lot of times we do a show, and to me it just seemed like a good phone call.
Yeah.
You know, like we were all buds and we're hanging out and we're all doing a 3-way. And I see it getting a little hot there when I said 3-way, Lloyd. And but you know, so I want to be able to also take it to the people that I know, because I still feel audience. You know, you can't do a show continuously for 20 years in a place and not feel audience all the time.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at still.
Yeah, we got to find out a way of getting people on, getting people involved, get some music on here, but it's all good. It's good. Good things coming on Beaver Cool.
Well, they can start by posting on Facebook, and I've seen some good comments. I mean, you know, there's some chick said I was hot, and Lisle gave her shit about it. So, you know, damn, John, you know, I'm 50 years old. If a girl says I'm hot, let me have at least one moment in the spotlight there, dude. Damn, come on.
I know. I'm just jealous. With your ankle
my God.
monitor and your chunky wristwatch.
Never going to be the same again.
All right.
All right, kids. Well, tomorrow's Friday, and hopefully we'll be Lisle. Hopefully you get over that battle balloon you got
like
there.
Like I said, real. This is not contrived. This is, you know, this is not just some stupid thing that I put on my face because it was all bloated from too much salt last night. It has nothing to do with it. Okay. I'm aching. I'm hurt.
Why don't you go hit your head on that gong back there? Maybe it'll feel better, you know? Oh, no. Unfortunately, I didn't hear any sound. Only John's brain just clanking the side of his skull there.
Oh,
wow.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really? Beaver Cool Aid.
Make it like a man. Get it hard.
With Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew. So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.